ladies and gentlemen, Domain After Dark is back. Everybody drop a like, right? This is sick. It's when Nathan's been in bed for 3 hours and we just had a game and we have stuff to talk about, and actually a lot to talk about in this game. Holy smokes. I mean, from the first possession, you're talking season-long fantasy implications here because of Xavier Worthy. Now, I'm not gonna act like I know at all what happened to him. It looked like they tried to pop his shoulder back into place. So there is that. I don't know if that's actually what happened. So I'm not gonna try to be a doctor, but if I were trying to be a doctor, that's what it looked like to me. Now, obviously, you know, first of all, Corey is cursed in the Flock League. Second of all, if he is out for even the first 5 weeks, that is absolutely detrimental to Xavier Worthy owners because, I mean, he is going to then be back when Rashee Rice gets back. And Rashee Rice at that point is a healthy Rashee Rice, by the way. He's healthy now, is going to be the wide receiver 1 in Kansas City. And so that it is, I mean, we're talking absolutely brutal here. Like, that is brutal as brutal gets. And so, that's probably the main storyline from this game from a fantasy perspective. I think, in my opinion, that's going to have the most repercussions here. With Worthy, I mean, if he tore something when he hit there, like, he's going to have surgery and he's going to be out for the season. Like, it potentially could be that bad for Xavier Worthy. And so we're looking at that and obviously going to keep an eye on that, but not good. Ruled out for the rest of the game. He obviously had a towel over his head when he was leaving, unless either he's just extremely emotional or that was a bad injury. And so we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm obviously hoping it's not bad for Xavier Worthy, but we're gonna find out. Let's start with Kansas City, though, since we're already on Xavier Worthy. I mean, Pat Mahomes. Heck yeah. At the first half, I was like, I don't know why I drafted this dude in the Flock League. I don't know why I drafted him. I do find it interesting that the Chiefs' offense, very, very rinky-dinky. Like, they like, hey, Mahomes, 3-step drop back, and then boom. Like, legit, out of your hands. It's like they're playing hot potato. But he ended up throwing the ball 39 times in this game. Had 258 passing yards. Obviously had 1 touchdown. But really, I mean, you're looking at his rushing production, and he had 12 points on the ground. That's a game changer for Patrick Mahomes. You can get that from, even in some weeks, that's a game changer. And so I do love that from Mahomes. Obviously, he looked, you know, from a playmaking standpoint, he's putting his shoulder down into people tonight. This guy's a huge story. And we need to talk about this because, I mean, I don't even know. So, like, okay, so he's actually not even on waivers in the Flock League. He's only rostered in 31% of leagues right now, Hollywood Brown. Hollywood had 16 targets, which, again, I mean, who else are you going to throw the ball to there? Who is Mahomes going to throw the ball to at this point, right? And so I'm looking at Hollywood Brown, and at the beginning of the game, it honestly looked really slow because Mahomes and him were not connecting. It honestly didn't look good at all. But then, you know, they don't have Worthy. Kelsey, outside of the 1 catch, was okay, I would say. And you look at Hollywood Brown, he has 16 targets, 99 yards, 19 and a half, or almost 20 fantasy points, 19.9 fantasy points tonight for Hollywood Brown. Look, if Hollywood is on your waivers, I mean, you're talking about a guy that probably is a must start for the first, I mean, until Rashee Rice gets back. He is an absolute, like, start him. Don't even flex him. You start him if Worthy's going to be out. So in terms of, like, how much fab you're actually going to drop on Hollywood Brown, man, I don't know. It would be high. If he were in the Flock League, I was legitimately thinking this to myself. But again, Thomas somehow, I don't even know how Thomas had the wherewithal to roster Hollywood Brown. He wasn't even on my radar this season. I'm like, yeah, this dude, whatever. So 19 points. He had 16 targets of the 39 times that Mahomes threw the ball tonight. So there's just nobody there. And at the point where Mahomes is playing even close to like he played tonight, you absolutely have to own the top receiver in that offense. And it looked like it's going to be Hollywood Brown. Tyquan Thornton just looks like Marquez Valdes-Scantling at this point, right? And so Hollywood Brown was kind of doing a little bit of everything. He was getting quick targets. Juju got some quick targets. I think Juju had 5 receptions for 55 yards. Ended up having 10 fantasy points. Juju is another guy that going forward you could look at, and he could potentially be flexible if he continues to get, you know, rinky-dink targets like this. But he caught all 5 of his targets and he had 55 yards. It's 10 points. He had more points than my starting running back, which we'll get to. But obviously, you know, Tyquan Thornton had a couple bigger plays, and I think that's what he's going to be in that offense. And you know, we already talked about Worthy. Kelsey had the 1 touchdown, but outside of that, I think he only had like 3 points the rest of the game. I feel like more or less that's what you're going to get from Travis Kelsey on a week-to-week basis at this point in his career. And because of that, look, I mean, you were getting him in the 8th, 9th round this year. And so I don't think this was like, you know, I don't think we had super high expectations. He only had 4 targets in this game. You know, even looking back at last year, like, you know, there were games where he did still have double-digit targets. There were also games where he had 4, 5, 4, 3, and 4 targets. But you'll notice specifically that he actually started really slow at the beginning of last year. And so I think more or less that's what you're going to get from Travis Kelsey on a game-to-game basis. And that was pretty much it. I mean, overall entertaining game. Let's go to the Los Angeles Chargers side of the ball now. I mean, this is why I fell in love with watching Justin Herbert. It's why I have a Justin Herbert jersey in my closet. Is because, I mean, he is throwing absolute dots. I will say this about the Chargers, too. He threw how many times? Justin Herbert threw the ball 34 times, and the Chargers ran the ball, I think, 17 times. I think there was a carry that wasn't from a running back. Darius Davis had a carry. Man, for a Greg Roman offense, for somebody named Greg Roman, for Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator that historically has run the ball a lot, this team passed the ball a lot tonight. I mean, they were coming out at the end of the game when they should have been running the ball, and they were passing it. It's like he was screwing with us. It's like Greg Roman. It was opposite day for Greg Roman. I don't know. And it's not like, you know, Hampton didn't get enough volume. But I think that's great for Justin Herbert. 318 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also added 3 points on the ground. 28 points tonight for Herbert. If they're going to throw the ball this much, which I think part of it was game plan. I think part of it was they knew that the Chiefs, if they tried to run the ball, they were going to win that battle. They were the Chiefs' defensive front is always going to win that battle. And so I think part of it was they were just playing into the game plan. They're like, hey, we'll just pass the ball against you because your secondary is not that good. And Herbert diced him up all night. It looked really good for Herbert. And he could be somebody, I think, that if he's on waivers and you need a quarterback, you know, yeah, I think he could be. Let's talk about my running back. Let's talk about Amarian Hampton. I don't think I could have asked for much more in terms of volume for Amarian Hampton. We knew coming into this matchup, though, here's the thing. You couldn't sit Hampton this week, even though he's a rookie and he's playing one of the toughest defenses in terms of running back defense, playing one of the toughest defenses in the NFL. You couldn't sit Hampton this week. I couldn't sit him. And so, but he gets 17 touches, which is exactly what you want to see when you're looking at the other guys getting touches there in that offense. 1 carry for Najee. First of all, I'm dropping Najee in the Flock League, by the way. I mean, Najee is irrelevant. We told you guys all. I mean, I'm not going to sit here in victory lap after 1 game, but Najee's irrelevant. I mean, that's just sticking with what we've been saying all offseason. Najee's nothing, okay? I mean, he had 1 carry. Hampton got everything. Hampton got absolutely everything. And so I think from a volume standpoint, you have to be really happy with the rookie. And honestly, you saw Hampton, his first couple plays of the game, and he was rocking it. The problem was, again, it's a very tough matchup, and the Chiefs were very good against Hampton and, you know, limited him. I think he had 5 or 6 plays that were at the line of scrimmage or behind. And so, look, a rookie running back in his first game in the NFL, I just really wanted to see the usage, and the usage is great. They love Hampton, and honestly, I think Hampton against one of the better defenses in the NFL, obviously 3.2 yards per carry is not great, but he did have the 2 targets for 13 yards, 2 receptions. Yeah, that helps. That helped salvage him to 8 points instead of 4. But, you know, obviously it's tough, but I'm playing Nathan, so I essentially have a bye week. Najee, again, rostered in 61% of leagues. I don't want to overreact to 1 game, but I think Najee's. I honestly was leaning not dropping him anyways. I'm dropping him. I'm not telling you should drop him. I'm just telling you I'm dropping him. So we'll leave it at that there. Obviously, we got to talk about really what's super interesting about this game, because Herbert obviously balled out. You know, we've talked all offseason about how the wide receiver 2 in LA not doing anything, right? Well, if they throw the ball 35 times a game, yeah, there can actually be a productive wide receiver 2 there. And in fact, Ladd McConkey in this game, 13.5 points. Not a bad game for Ladd. The 3rd most productive receiver in this game, behind Quentin Johnson, who had a touchdown, obviously 7 targets, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's the annual week 1 Quentin Johnson big game. We see this every year now. Don't freak out about it yet. Not rostered in our league. Keenan Allen is. Sammy has Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen had 19 points because he had 10 targets. So what's interesting is Keenan Allen actually was the leading target receiver in this offense. McConkey was second, Johnson was third, but McConkey didn't get the touchdowns, and, you know, all three of them had good games. But I don't know. I'm not sold on Quentin Johnson. You guys can tell me in the comments if you're sold on Quentin Johnson. I personally am not. And then Trey Harris had one catch. I mean, again, he was the worst pick in fantasy football this year. So, and he definitely is now that QJ looks relevant, and so does Keenan Allen. So he was a waste of a pick. Tyler Conklin, no, obviously didn't do anything. So that's probably the main stuff from this game. You know, I honestly, tons of long-term fantasy takeaways. And so what we should do here, I mean, let's just go and update the rankings because, you know, the rest of season rankings, I don't even know if I have Marquise Brown in here. Hollywood. Okay, I've got him down there somewhere. I am at 56 before tonight. I mean, I think now, I think you put him up here. I think you put Marquise Brown this high. I mean, I don't like any of these guys here. A lot of you guys will get mad about Debo, Cooper Kupp. I don't like any of those guys. I think he's in this range of guys here somewhere, though. I mean, is that? Tell me in the comments. I hey to you guys in the comments. What's up? Is that too high? Is that too high for Marquise? I mean, like wide receiver 48 rest of the season. I don't think it is. I mean, again, I think for the first 6 weeks of the season, I mean, I think you started Brown. Oh my gosh. I don't know how you had the wherewithal to do that. My goodness. That's crazy. Hats off to you. I don't think this is that unreasonable though. I really don't. And so, you know, we'll see. Yeah, why did you start Hollywood? That is very interesting. Must be a deep league, though. I mean, deep leagues, you could potentially start Hollywood. So, I don't think this is unreasonable. Wide receiver 52 is not too high with Rice and Worthy out. They're going to pick up another receiver. Lagted had 23 points. That's not what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's where you got to move them. I think you have to. In terms of the rest of, I'll push that one. In terms of the rest of, like, oh, we didn't even talk about this. Let's talk about this. Hold on. Let's look at the running backs for Kansas City. Yeah. Look, they both got 5 carries. Brashard Smith was out there a lot. He didn't get any usage. So I'm not really worried about him like having a role that's fantasy productive. But what you have to be worried about, right, is Isaiah Pacheco. 5 carries. He carried the ball 5 times in this game. And sure, he got 3 targets, but they were late. He carried the ball 5 times. Kareem Hunt was on the field as much as him, and he got 3 targets as well. You've got to be a little bit worried about Pacheco, right? I didn't see Jalen Royals out there. I would have thought they would have gotten him in, but they didn't. I don't think he played. So, Ryan says, Hampton is open on so many peel outs and check down. Herb's got to him once, but if they use Hampton more as a security blanket with how much they're passing, there's potential there. I think there's potential either way. I think if Hampton gets this usage on a week-to-week basis, Herbert's not throwing for 3 touchdowns every week. I think Hampton against any other team with this usage has 15 points pretty easily. So, honestly, I'm very encouraged with what I saw. Obviously, I would have liked more points from Hampton, but I do think that I'm encouraged. So, you mean the Chiefs don't believe in Pacheco? I'm shocked. Yeah, nothing that they've done from a front office perspective suggests that they ever believed in Isaiah Pacheco. And sure, he's the first down back. Great. Although he wasn't. I mean, Kareem Hunt, you'll see in the post-game reports as they come out, Kareem Hunt did also get some first down snaps. Like, he was also getting early down snaps. Pacheco's buns. Yeah, I think you do move Pacheco. I mean, I was being more aggressive with Pacheco because I felt like, I don't know, and I had Pacheco pretty low by everybody else's standards. I had him as my running back 22 here, but I would definitely take Pollard rest of the season. I mean, it's not even close. I don't know. I mean, Johnson, Montgomery. This is tough. This is all a big tier, but I'm not going to overreact to one game. I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't think it's great. I think you do have to move Kareem Hunt up. They didn't bring back Kareem Hunt for nothing. Like, I already have him in here. Where do I have him? Here he is. I mean, I'll put Kareem Hunt up, you know, with the good backups here. I think he deserves it. I think he deserves to be up here. I need to move Eckler up while I'm here. I think he deserves it, though. Jalen Rose was out. I didn't even know like that. I didn't even know that. Javonte over Pacheco. Yeah, I mean, where do I even have Javonte? At this point, you do have to. I haven't even touched my rankings with Javonte yet, but I think I would probably put him closer to there at this point. I mean, I don't think that's an overreaction as well. And so I think you have to make that change as well. So starting Judy over Pacheco now, I think that's valid. I started Javonte Williams, Hollywood Brown on my 18 team. That's crazy. The Panic Peters are just being extreme with the Hampton takes. Oh, I guess I'm probably not tracking here. Hold on. People are panicking about Hampton? What? I honestly, like, genuinely, I know I'm biased, but I don't understand why you would panic here. It was his first game in the NFL. He's playing like the toughest run defense in the NFL. One of the toughest, top 3. And he touches the ball 17 times. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why you would panic about this guy. Again, I obviously wanted more than freaking 8 points out of him, so that sucks. I mean, he gets a touchdown. You're at 14 points. He is fine, y'all. I would not panic. Yeah, he got the volume, and Najee got 1 carry. I mean, again, Pacheco over Pollard before this game seems wild. Yeah, I mean, no, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I had them all in the same tier. But they were both going like the end of the 5th round, so. No one with a brain would panic on Hampton. He looked great. I'm with you. If anybody panics on Hampton, if the Hampton owner in your league panics on Hampton, I mean, my gosh, just go buy him. Just go trade for him. Holy smokes. So, people are panicking on Hampton. I'm buying. It's exactly right. That's a great move. Ham's fine. Made one strategic mistake. Still got all the carries. Yeah, and again, they acted like he just assassinated somebody from that. I mean, my gosh. I don't think he even looked off. I don't think he looked mid either. I completely disagree with this. I think that he did what they asked him to do when they needed to get short yardage. But I think the runs where Hampton got stuffed were just the Chiefs' defensive line just dominating. There were runs where Hampton looked fantastic, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of times he was getting hit 1 yard after the line of scrimmage and turning it into 3-4 yard runs. That's a skill. So I completely disagree with that. I don't think he looked mid at all. I think the Chiefs' defensive line is great. I mean, if you watched any of them last season, you realize that. So, do we drop Shaheed for Hollywood? Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I would. I think I've got him ranked higher. So, scared of contact. I didn't get that vibe from him. I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't get that vibe. How much do you think Najee gets involved as the year goes? I mean, again, I've held this opinion the whole time. So, like, I'm not. This is nothing new. I don't think that Najee stays involved. Like, I don't think he's going to be. Keenan rest of the year, maybe we have to move Keenan Allen up our rankings a little bit here. Probably do, because I had him pretty low. I did not think he was going to be relevant. I had him here. I don't move him up that much here. I think he jumps a couple spots as of right now. But, like, I would take Marquise Brown over Keenan for sure rest of the season. So, I don't know. It seems dumb to rank him over, like, Coleman. So, I think I still have him. I still have him around the wide receiver 60 range, and that's about where I'd put him. So, if you get a buy low, I mean, guys, let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. Week 1 against Kansas City. First game in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs had 8 points. Okay. Let me show you something else, just real quick. Week 1 in the NFL. First game against Kansas City. Amarian Hampton had how many points? Say it with me, chat. I made this mistake once, and we freaked out about Jahmyr Gibbs here. This is absolutely, if you can buy low on Hampton, you do it. Mic drop. Yeah, drop a like. Appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, I'll answer any questions here real quick. But again, very fun game. That game was awesome. Mahomes is so fun to watch, man. I'm glad they actually let him throw the ball down the field a little bit. Left Johnson on the bench. It's unfortunate, man. I would have recommended you do. So, I mean, I would have been right there with you. 8 points. That's exactly right. Yeah, no, I'm not comparing them as talents or players. They're schematically completely different. I'm just saying, like, you get the point, right? Yeah, these are rookies. Have patience, have exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you guys are smart. You guys are all sharp. And so I'm just encouraging you. I was more worried about, like, how much usage is Najee going to get? Even though I was pretty confident he wouldn't. And he got the volume he needs. He needs Hampton, for him to return at my 212 price I draft him out in the Flock League. He has to get 15 plus carries a game. 15 plus touches, I should say. And he got 17 in his first game in the NFL. He also is just way better than Najee. It's not even close. Kelsey's dead to me. I understand. Yeah, no, again, it is tough. I mean, I'll be very interested to hear more about the injury for old Kelsey boy. But yeah, it's rough. It was better than yesterday's game, I agree. How the Chiefs hurt their own players so much. I think it's some kind of human sacrifice type thing we got going on here. I was satisfied with Hampton because, again, it was a tough matchup. If he would have scored a touchdown, it would have salvaged his day. And he's a rookie playing his first game. Yeah, no. Yeah, Dylan, that's a good observation. Mahomes was overthrowing all this stuff early, deep shots, because it was supposed to be Worthy, and he had to adjust the speed. Yeah, and Worthy would have cost him those too. Yeah, he made a mistake again. But I mean, he came out and started the first series in the second half. I mean, so at the end of the day, the mistake didn't cost him fantasy points at all. So, not worried about that. I honestly, yeah, it's all right. And they won the game, so it's okay. Hampton should have done more. Harbaugh should have done more screen passes to Amarian with how frequently the Chiefs were blitzing. That's 100% true. And Justin Herbert was nixing some of that with how effective he was with his legs. But yeah. No, I'm fine. I feel just fine about my Hampton. I mean, I wanted him to get a ton of work, and he got the work, and that's really all I can ask for. So, all right, good deal. Well, we'll be doing these again. Like, we'll be live. We should be live after Sunday Night Football too. In Monday Night Football, we'll be doing Domain After Dark. So make sure you're here after every night game, and we'll try to do this a little bit more often. But it's been a long day, and so that's my cue. All right, y'all, and I'm going to the IU game tomorrow, so I'm glad I can actually go this week. All right, peace out. I love you, and we'll have fun watching the game Sunday. We'll see you Sunday night. We'll have videos for you Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, you know. All right, peace.